Friends, today I'll just talk about the NAAC. NAAC is a National Assessment Accreditation Council, which is being made to assess all institutions of higher learning, higher education across the country, including central universities, state universities, deemed universities, and even private universities. AMU Central University, we all know, and we have already passed through Cycle 1, having grade A. Now we are, Cycle 2 is due, for which we have to submit the SSR and look for the peer team visit as well as student satisfactory survey submission. Fortunately, we have all done this exercise, that is SSR and SSS. Now we are looking for the peer team to visit AMU. I would like to share you some of the the ups and downs while we are submitting the SSR, and we have worked together as a team in order to submit the SSR for the next Cycle 2. So I will start like this. In December, the Honorable Vice Chancellor appointed me as a Deputy Director of IQAC, along with the Director, who is already looking the office for a couple of years, at least for 5 to 7 years. But in December end, the Director was having some health issue. Then the Vice Chancellor asked me to officiate the IQAC and to look at the next Cycle 2 submission procedure. Then I start working on data and looking the data, dig out the data and see what has been done so far. I reached to the conclusion that most of the work has been already done by the earlier Director, but the data was not in a position to submit SSR at that very position. In February, NAAC office notified us to submit the SSR within 15 days. That was very frustrating for me and very disappointing that having that data, we are not in a position to submit SSR within 15 days. Then we called a meeting of all chairpersons, nodal officer, facilitators, MICs, and deans and principals under the chairmanship of Honorable Vice Chancellor. PVC, Registrar were also there, and we discussed at great length what is NAAC, what is SSR, what are the different questions being asked in SSR, and how do we submit the SSR, and what are the evidences which we need, and how do we submit the evidences. Keeping all in view, we have start working on the data after the completion of that meeting. The meeting was very successful, and we reached to the conclusion that we have to submit the SSR within 15 days. Then we discussed all this data with our Criteria Wise Committee, which has been made earlier. But all members of Criteria Wise Committees thought that the data was not in a position to submit SSR at this very position. Then I look at the data and decided, very disappointed, and decided just to give up this year, or rather this cycle, and just to submit IIQ again and to initiate a fresh SSR procedures. I discussed the same with the authorities, but authorities suggested not to do that, but to go with the same IIQA and submit this SSR within the time given to us. Anyway, then we discussed the Vice Chancellor to constitute another committee, which basically involved in SSR submission procedure. And I have given the 14 name to the Vice Chancellor, and he has kindly agreed upon and constituted that 14-member committee we called SSR Submission Committee. That SSR Submission Committee was of my own choice, and very young, energetic faculty members of the university of different departments. They are very dedicated, hardworking, passionate workers, which I knew earlier, all of them, rather most of them, and we work together. Now, the way we start working, we have given a conference hall and administration block with all logistic, including PCs, 867 PCs and scanner, printer, and all kind of facilities were given. And we have started working day and night. We basically have worked 12-hour day for 1 month, because we have taken extension of 15 days more, because within 15 days we could not submit the SSR, so we requested the NAAC office to extend 15 days, and they have kind enough, and agreed and extended our SSR submission date to next 15 days. So we got 1 month as a whole. And we worked for 15, at least for a 1 month, 12 hours a day with all these 15 members, 14 members committee. And not only this, even when we are at home, we discussing the things, and we are working on different criterias, looking the evidences, verifying them, vet them, and all the day and night with a very rigorous exercise, we have reached to the completed SSR in a position so that we are in a position to submit. Now, while preparing the SSR, we thanks to the committee members, because we have given the assignment of each committee members, that is 2 committee members being given 1 criteria. Having 7 criteria, we've got 14 members, so all these 7 criteria were covered. Now, most difficult tasks which we faced during the submission or during the compilation of SSR was the evidence, to gather the evidences, which is very important. And having evidences, we have to personally visit different offices, request different chairpersons, different officials, FOs, control of examination, and different of authorities to provide the data. And successfully, we have done this exercise with the support of all these officials. Thanks to Professor Asfar, thanks to Registrar Sab, who has personally took interest in order to provide these evidences from different officials. FO, control of examination, are very cooperative to provide the data. Thanks to both of them, because the major data came from these 2 offices. And Office of Finance Office was very organized, and they provide the data within the time in a very organized manner. Now, regarding further compilation and data from different sections of the administration block as well as this department, we approached to the nodal officer, we approached to the facilitator, we approached to different GRs, SOs, and assistant stars and so on, and different officials, teaching and non-teaching members, and they all cooperated a lot to provide the data within the time, and supported us, our team, to compile the SSR. So thanks to all. The SSR was completed within the time, and after completion of SSR, we have submitted the SSR online portal. And while submitting the SSR, we have to submit the fees, which is almost 4 lakh rupees, is 50% of the total fees of SSR, and which has been taken care by our Vice Chancellor. Within no time, he asked the finance officer to submit the fees online, and we did it. And the things are very simple for us in order to submit the SSR within the time. It was a very tough time for us and for our team. We have gone through various ups and downs while gathering the data. Maybe sometime we reached to the conclusion that probably we cannot do it, but some of the encouraging words of our team members and our officials made us to make this task very easy, and ultimately we submitted the SSR. Now I must thanks to all officials, especially the Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, Registrar, OSD, Vice Chancellor, Finance Officer, Controller of Examination, and all officials to provide the data, all MICs, OSD Development, and DSW, all Provost, to provide the evidences within the time when we ask. Thanks to all nodal officers, facilitator, who work day and night to provide the data of the departments. Thanks to the chairpersons, deans, principals, to facilitate the data processing in compiling the SSR. Now we are in a position to, we are expecting, inshallah, grade A++. And of course, it's time to celebrate. But because of the lockdown, of course, we cannot do that. But I'm sure when we get AA, we'll celebrate all together as a university fraternity and celebrate the good ranking of NAAC with all your support. Thank you very much.